There we go. There we go. Oh, I'm on the wrong mic. Oh, baby, I'm on the wrong mic right now. I'm on the mic right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry, anime arc starting today. Anime arc? You know. Okay. You know exactly what we're going to be doing here. All right, just closing things down. Hold on. Closing them down. Yo, the Grugagen. Yeah. Yeah. You know what we doing today. Oh!
That scared me.
Don't shoot me down, Lithium! Did you not hear the song? The song is telling you to stop it.
Welcome to Costco.
I can't change Windows in NeoVim. I'm not sure what that means. Using Vim today at work instead of VS Code with Vim bindings. Hey, that's a good start, Lithium. I can't hear nothing. Is it because you're old? Shoot, I forgot to go pee.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Dang it. Grug, is he reading Grug? You know it, Frederick. Hey, Pedro Cal, stop the shootings. I can't help it. Writing a web server in C. Assault
Welcome to
my
Costco. I love you.
hammies. This guy going live as I hit send on a YouTube comment. Hell yeah, Amber. How you doing, by the way? You doing good? Do the chickens have large talons? They always do. They're called the Velociraptors. I feel like this would be a banger to give to Seth Drums. If Seth Drums is live today on Twitch, we'll rate him. The Grugagen. Yeah, brah. I'm so tired around 14 hours, my productivity takes a dip. Yeah, 14 hours is a long time. It's okay to take a dip at that point. Perfectly reasonable. Taking my shot at setting up NeoVim finally. Nice. Prime, what do you think of the GUI? I don't know. Whoa! Dax! I just went live. Raid. Hey, what up, Warren Bruffering? Hey, Dax. How you doing, baby cakes? You doing good? You know, Dax, I do have a little something I need to say to you.
Welcome to Costco.
Dax.
I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dylan, the wizard. How you doing? Dax, real talk. Dax, when are you going to invite me on Between Two Nerds, okay? Warren exposed me on Twitter today. Oh, really? Do you have a Twitter, TJ? Self-promoting TJ. Salt my hamstrings. I swear, every time. Every time. Lithium, you have a beard and you're bald? Is that what you mean? Ralphie, MCT, thank you. Lol, mostly want people to follow my Twitch, of course. My Twitch, though.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Thanks to you, I'm deep in NeoVim coconut oil. Also just built Dactyl Maniform because of wrist pain. All the pain is gone. Also switched to Volmac DH. Highly recommend it. Nice. Yeah, I do. Concavity is the best. This is obviously not a Dactyl Maniform. This is a Kinesis Advantage 360. No scope. Okay. Never a go stream. Every time. So disappointed. Why? Dude, what happened to my glasses? Now that's the name you haven't heard in years. Do you want to come Between Two Nerds and talk about Falcor? F you, Dax. More Ashana. I'll talk the crap out of it, though. I'll tell you all about it. I will tell you all about Falcor. Its original designs, what we wanted to do with it, all of that. Imagine
to
using a
Costco.
keyboard for programming. I
love
only
you.
use the scroll mouse button. Yeah, la sacola. La sacola. La sacola. Did you complete Zero to Prod book? I'm partway through it. Partway. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do still with my life. You know what I mean? Dr. Optic Stream. Tax, you should do Between Two Nerds for Falcor, but it's the only one that everything is positive. Ooh, That somehow makes me even more upset. Are you going back to QWERTY? I am going to go back to QWERTY at some point here soon. I just built the Dactyl Maniform tight variation, and it's incredible. Yeah, see, I'm not really... I don't think I want to spend my time doing that. Hey, what's up, Adam?
Costco.
11 months. Let's go, Adam. Hey, Adam. When are you going to do the real coders of Twitch and invite everybody to come down there? Spend a week at your place and do a whole thing. We got to also invite Warren Buffering, by the way. So I refuse to come without Warren Buffering. No, not invited. Okay, see that? No, it doesn't count that way. You can't just say we're invited. You have to get after it. Okay. Derek Saurus Rex, thank you very much. Welcome. At all times. Wife agrees. Mainly because I want to see SST support Falcor. Shut up. What happened to the idea? It's a bad good idea. That's what I mean by that. Between Two Nerds is a banger of a name of a dead podcast. Yeah, that's Dax's. Prime just wants to sleep in the same bed, Adam. You know it. I've been a lead for 4 months and I miss hardcore coding. Damn. I need the money, but doing project development and mentoring is making me hate what I do. Then you need, no one supports Falcor. No, it's dead. It's a dead long project, but it had some cool ideas.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
I like to hear that, nose up. I meant what happened to the idea we all go to Adam's house idea. We're all going to do that. I'm still waiting for Adam has to be the one who pulls the trigger. I'm recommending right before TwitchCon. We can do like 3 days at Adam's, then go to TwitchCon, then go home. That's all I'm saying. I was working on something like Falcor when Falcor came out, so I failed even harder. Yeah. But you get actually, Adam, that would be a really fun talk. Then party in Miami. Okay, Lithium, you just want to be able to drive to location. I'll make it happen. You literally have to make it happen. Are you still making the Tokyo t-shirt? Yes, and I'm still blocked by the exact same thing, which is Shopify. Shopify. Tickets booked. DM my invite, please. I broke up with JavaScript. Finally, a free man. Nice. I just want to drive on a boat to a location. Okay, reasonable. Are all the viewers are invited? Yes, but you have to stay in the yard. Isn't that right, Adam? They have to stay outside only. PrimeageN, any expertise on running print shops, art print shops online? I don't have any expertise running those. No. We do have a nice yard for what it's worth. Yeah. Joke's on you. I'm a garden gnome. Got him. I found something cool in YouTube Live. The little red border makes me realize you're live. Oh, nice. Yeah. Adam owns Ozarks. Yeah. Do you also own a Caconia thing? Like, do you got a Caconia thing? And by the way, tomorrow, Friday, I'm only streaming on YouTube. Remember that, everybody. Only on YouTube. Okay? So if you want to be a part of this, if you want to get deep, okay, By the way, thank you for all the replies on this. How many dollars a month? Minimum 5. Minimum. But it's kind of choose your own adventure, really. You can go up higher. My list of languages I want to go through before specializing is Python, Java, JavaScript, Lua, Go, Elixir, Rust, OCaml. Do you think it lacks something? That's a pretty good tour de France for when it comes to everything. I would suggest starting off, the hard part about Java is to do Java, it takes a lot of Java. You know what I mean? Like, Java's really hard to just do Java. You know what I mean? It's not as simple or as nice as other environments. So it takes a lot of effort. Hold on. Look at this. 480 replies. That is insane. We got, first off, you guys ratioed me. All these replies didn't like the tweet. Thank you very much for that, assholes. Second off, Second off, look at me now. Now I got some good content for the video. BeganBot and I will be going through this here soon. Java 17 and above is not so bad, but it does really take a lot of Java to Java. Yeah, it does. Got ratioed. I got ratioed myself. Did Truffle extension work out for the YouTube stream? Saw that have the onboarding issues on the other side, not automated enough. No, I have it all set up, so I believe I should be ready to go with Truffle when it's time to truffle. So I will be putting it into OBS. I have a special first time scene I'll be airing tomorrow. It'll be incredible. Incredible. First time. New camera angle added to the startup. I actually love Java. Working 2 years. Yeah. Wow, you're working Java 2 years. That's on. What do you do to build your scenes? I've been paying someone. But now that AI is such a big thing, I think I could probably just like not anymore and just like start generating them. You know what I mean? Let's see. Hold on. I'll need your advice on landing your first junior web dev job. I've done one type. Well, I mean, you got to figure out what you want to do, and then you need to figure out what people want, and you got to take your skills and make them into what people want. I mean, that's ultimately the most general and applicable advice. The thing is I know, I'm sorry, but I mean, it's real talk. There's no, like, I can't give you a path to becoming a web dev. You need to meet where the employers are at. Quick question. Go dropped the telemetry toolchain idea? Question mark? I have no idea. Karen at work today? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Why only streaming on YouTube tomorrow? Just trying it out. Just trying it out. You know what I mean? Just exploring the space. Just seeing where life takes me. Hey, thank you. All right. How we doing? How we doing today? Happy summer solstice. Is today summer solstice day? Well, rock on. A/B testing DGen Legion? Something like that. RIP submarine billionaires? Dude, that shit was so messed up. I don't even want to talk about it. Dude, I cannot help but to just like feel so many things there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? How did you get to where you are at streaming on YouTube? Any tips? Yeah. Pick a lane. Become the lane. See, here's the deal. Here's the deal. When I got started, there was some programming live content, but there was a fairly minimum. Lana Lux was probably, she was number one at all times. There was Alt F4, me, Ninja Bunny, a few other people. There was nothing. And so here's the deal. This is what I did, is I saw that to make this into a category where people will actually watch, you have to create the category itself. There was no category. And so I started to go all in, started making YouTube videos, started creating just like a complete shit posting Twitter. I kind of was the first one to kind of really try to go to the next thing. And it really worked out. You know what I mean? Let's see. When did you start streaming? Has it been 4 years? 5 years. ThePrimeagen built this. I literally built this one. Yeah. TwitchTracker.com. ThePrimeagen, I think. Hey, thank you very much,
Welcome
Herbie
to
Derby.
Costco. I love you.
So yeah, like, look at this. 2018. Look at that. Fortnite. Streaming a little Fortnite, 2018. June 2018. Oh, shit. I bet you my 5 years. Wait, my 6 years. I've been streaming for 6 effing years. See, as you can see, it's not like an easy grind. You know what I mean? There's obviously there's no simple solution. You know what I mean? Happy anniversary. Thank you. 6 years. 6 years. People. I have questions about Git issues. I don't know if I created another branch. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer those things. Dang. Not even the infection. Not even to the inflection point. I know. We're still creeping. We're still creeping right now. Is it worth learning Ruby nowadays? Probably not. Hey, thank you very much, Brandon Young, 77, and OG Taxmo. Thank you very much for the tier 1.
I love you.
Course to become a Zig programmer when? I don't know. Shopify Ruby. Do the creeper. No. I've created all my projects using ideas. Yeah. You've already said this. I mean, you have to exercise your own skills. I get that. I'm on your team. Exercise your own skills. Why are you considering leaving Dvorak? I want to be useful on all computers. Say me your name. No. Primeagen told everyone I'm learning Rust. They laughed, saying, "Why would you need that?" What is the best response to these people? You don't need to respond to them. Okay? You don't need to respond to peasants. Okay? Here's the deal. A king doesn't justify his behavior by begging people to accept what he is doing, okay? He does what he does. And yes, sometimes you got to go first into battle, sword in hand. But other times, you have kick-ass celebrations with lots and lots and lots of fine pieces of meat. Don't forget that, okay? Little piece of advice I learned from Uhtred of Bebbanburg. Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Uhtred's sword of Uhtred's sword. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sword in hand. Wow. Yeah. Show him your dicks. Yeah. Piece of meat. Check. Yeah. Little Google meetup. You know what I mean? And that is the story about how Prime learned PHP. I just realized you look like Brad Pitt's brother Stu. Look up Stu Pitt. Very close. And I'm going to hate you. Here we go. Stu Pitt. Here it goes. Yep. You saying this guy? Cool. Thanks. Thanks for that. I guess I look like that guy. No, I refuse to accept that as an answer. I refuse to accept your item, okay? Do not laugh at me. I refuse it. Refuse it. I'm refusing it. Here's the real deal, okay? Have you seen the /G 4chan thread about you? There's a 4chan thread about me. I don't even know what that is. Link me a 4chan. I've literally never been to 4chan.
I love you.
I've never been to 4chan. Link a thread about me. What does 4chan have to say about me? 4chan got him! I think I literally just hurt my platysma. I'm probably gonna hate this. Gosh, I'm gonna hate this. Okay, so, oh gosh. I genuinely hate going on Reddit and seeing what people have to say about me. It always hurts my feelings. And now apparently someone's linking some sort of thread about me on 4chan. First time 4chan traffic right now. Here we go. Oh man, there's already just slurs and racisms going on. Oh gosh, here we go. Okay, we'll just ignore the first person. We're gonna ignore the first person. You can't go to 4chan? Is 4chan TOS? First mistake, opening it in a non-Tor browser. Dude, off screen. I've been good, guys. Ban any. Yeah, 4chan is 4chan's TOS. I've never been on 4chan, so I don't even know this. But yes, the first comment does not surprise me at all. What did low-level learning say? Is it really? 4chan with no slurs is no 4chan? Oh, is that what it is? Very TOS? How is it TOS? I have no idea. Don't risk it. It's the comments that are TS. Yeah, cesspool, very dangerous. I've always heard it was dangerous. Okay, so I'm not going to lie to you. I've always heard 4chan was like a cesspool. Obviously, all that. But the very first message literally made me go, yeah, that's 4chan. That's... Yeah, that's 4chan. Okay. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. See, that's the problem. It's just too much. You know what I mean? It's too much. You know what I mean? It's just too much. You can go with the light edition 2chan. Thick chan. Yeah, you know, I'm just not gonna mess with it. You know what I mean? It's too much, not worth it. Famous hacker 4chan will drop your entire country database as soon as you click on the website. Yeah, I've heard about this. Phew. Okay, only useful comment in the thread is like, I like him and TJ. Started following them for NeoVim content. Besides, unlike Luke, they have real jobs and kids. God. I know Luke. I've only seen like a hint of Luke Smith videos, and every time I watch it, it's like watching someone. I'm like, this is exactly what academia is all about. This is just like what is the other side of academia, and it's just Luke Smiths and hippie liberal douchebags. Like that's all it is. That's all academia is, and so it's like that South Park episode. Like, you know, they have the debate on South Park. It's like gun-toting something redneck and then hippie liberal douchebag. That's pretty much academia in my book. Is the Unabomber? He's really not. The Unabomber is actually a very well-known man who's written manifestos and such like that. Apparently was very good at math and also crazy. Excuse me, I'm a hippie liberal douchebag. Should I focus on learning Go or Node? Whichever one makes you excited. Boomer, keyword, yeah. He died, by the way, a week ago. Yeah, he did. He was found dead in his prison cell, right? Crazy. Good morning, Prime Hogan. You inspired me with your videos talking about their journey. Oh, thank you. Luke being the Unabomber is an inside joke. Yep, see, again. Me not knowing about Luke Smith. I just outed myself. Tom's a genius. Yes, he is. Crazy. I was crazy once. All right, let's open this back up. I'm glad I didn't actually read any of that. So here's what we're going to do. We got a lot of things we got to do today, okay? Are we feeling pretty stacked? Are we feeling pretty firm right now? Are we ready to do this? I'm starting to learn program just so I can find your VODs more entertaining. Thank you. Hey, no problem.
Welcome
Thank
to
you very much,
Costco.
Mr. Benjamin. Are we ready to do this? Are we ready to do this? Or are you guys just, like, not really ready? The Unabomber's problem was that he was a disgruntled mathematician. No, the Unabomber's problem was that he bombed stuff. That would be the Unabomber's problem. Okay? There's plenty of disgruntled people that don't go, you know what I should do? You know what the real problem with the Unabomber, it was actually society that put the bomb together. I hate those answers. No, it was definitely the bombing part that got him upset, okay? Small brain, I know. Consequences of the Industrial Revolution and stuff. Yep, classic Industrial Revolution's fault. Oh, yeah, the MK Ultra. Now, that, on the other hand, is way, way, way better excuse. That stuff is crazy. I can't even read about that stuff because anytime you read about it, it's so convoluted in what actually happened versus what didn't happen versus what is like conspiracy theory versus mind control versus everything. That stuff is wacky. What is MK Ultra? It is the infinite. It is like 4chan before 4chan started. It's what birthed Alex Jones. The bomb is the problem. Right? Like that stuff is crazy. I spent like 20 minutes looking it up and I was like, no. Nope. Not for me. This is not for me. Nope. Yeah, it's pretty much the CIA drugging and doing experiments on Americans, something with Satanism and also demon possession and also mind control. I don't know. Like I said, I only spent 20 minutes and that topic is insane. Okay, it's insane. I'm using mind control right now. Like the shit is wild. Okay? This is turning into Primo 4chan. I know. I spent like I said, 20 minutes looking. And I was just like, this crazy. This is too crazy. Took enough LSD to be honorary MK Ultra participant. I probably close to this. I've taken enough to minimally be able to see things for the rest of my life. Hey, thank you very
Welcome
much,
to
Butt
Costco.
Whoopa. All right, I came here, and why are we talking about Ted and dude? Because people are talking about stupid stuff. All right, I met Prime in MK Ultra class, classic. Yeah, I knew Melky from his brother. We graduated from the earlier MK Ultra class. Visual Basic is much greater than LSD. Shrooms on the other side. That stuff's crazy. Reddit CEO brain rewrite and Rust when? Okay, so hey, real question. Do we have any updates? Do we have like a good, concise update of what has been going on with Reddit? Because the update seems crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm changing the topic. I don't want to talk about MK Ultra and Ted Kaczynski and whatever the hell you guys are talking about. I don't want to do that. Like, that ain't me, okay? That's never been me. TRDL, nothing. Dead to me. Melky, Ultra program. Yeah, all subreddits are porn now. Moderators turning everyone is actually anarchy now. Wow. Okay, and Reddit is another MK Ultra tentacle. Shut up! Man. r/stream is about actual trains and steam engines. Okay. What blogs do you read? I read Hacker News, Hacker Noon, and Reddit. I don't read blogs anymore. I read whatever I read on here. I want to debunk Reddit claims. Oh, is there really? Let's talk about Prime's future blue mustache. I've already read this. Wait. I think I've talked about this maybe. Wait, is this a new one? Oh, it's another one. How is this possible? How is this possible? Gonna miss programmer humor. Only mobile users are angry. Who cares? Got him. Got him a little out of date. And covers all. I don't want to watch a YouTube video on it. Okay. Thoughts on Apple versus Facebook VR glass? Nope, don't even care. Is this a book in length like the other ones? It is another book. No. Prime, do you use Twitter on desktop? I do. I'm a website Twitter user. What about Elon versus Zuck? Obviously, Zuckerberg would absolutely destroy Elon in a BJJ wrestling match. Okay? Primeagen, please talk about the incoming Elon versus Zuck cage fight. Is that that cannot be a real thing? Dude, have you not seen Zuckerberg? The man actually choked out a bitch on in a BJJ competition. Dude, the worst universe ever created has just recently happened right now, which is Zuckerberg is a good fighter. Okay, it is the worst outcome of 2023 is we can no longer make fun of Zuckerberg like we used to be. Now he is literally an evil villain about to BJJ us all. Dude, it's just the worst. Yeah, dude, he's insanely skilled. Exactly, dude, he's a freak of nature now. Life is a Joke, written by Chad Jippity. This is pretty much what's happening. I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. Yeah, dude, Zuck straight up went hard. Dude, it sucks. It's just the worst. Hey, Gustavo. Thank you very much, Gustavo. Oh, Gustavo. All right, hey, are you ready to do this? Zuckerberg is Skynet. Yeah, because I just wanted something awesome. You know, I just wanted to make fun of that. I don't care about Mojo. Mojo is probably vaporware, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I hope Zuck wins. Elon has a ton of weird fans who want to protect billionaires. Dude, you got to get out of your Twitter bubble. You think Zuck is somehow a different person? Oh, no. That multi-hundred billionaire, he's a cool one. He's awesome. That other guy? No. Just a bunch of cucks follow that guy. Okay. I'm sure they're all weird. They probably all have hookers. They're probably all crazy. They're probably all billionaires, okay? Crazy. Okay. ¿Por qué Maria? ¿Por qué Maria? Tokyo. Okay. Conquer code. You better back it off, okay? The doctor ain't the worst, okay? I'd pay $5 a month to watch Billionaire Fight Club. Absolutely. We hate billionaires. I don't hate billionaires for having $1 billion. I try not to hate things, you know? Because how many dollars a month for a Billionaire Fight Club? It'd have to be really expensive. Hey, really? Come on. Hey, yo, guy. I don't want to hear submarine jokes. That shit is wildly awful. Okay? Shit's wildly awful. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want to hear it. It's wildly awful.
It turns all your
It's
bad
disgusting.
feelings
Let's
into
move on.
good
We're moving
feelings.
on. Jaguar Vision, let's go.
It's a night.
Let's move on. Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? You're right. Actually, you know what? We're moving on. All right. It just makes me angry. Okay, hey, look at this guy. This guy sent me a message. What does he have to say? Made you look. Okay, nice job. You got me. All right. Let's do something. We're moving on. All right. What are we doing? Okay, so we already looked at that one. So I did want to look at this thing. How to never get a job. These guys are always asking me. Oh, shut up. We're not. Made you look. I got him, stupid. $5 a month. The only subs we're talking about is, yeah, you know it, baby. Thank you, no bandwidth. Dude, you think... Oh, gosh. Stop trying to bait me into a conversation. Stop it. Not getting baited. Not getting butt whooped. You're brand new to the startup. We're not doing this. All right, here we go. I guess it'd be really awesome if you could get HDMX guy. Yeah, well, we've been chatting. Turn off alerts. Look at this guy. Marker. How to never get a job. A furry would refuse such a debate. All my homies hate billionaires. I see all your homies are furries. All right, so let's get going.
Welcome to Costco.
Alerts
I love you.
are officially off. Thank you, Suda Lemon. All right, people, how to never get a job. All right, because I know a lot of you are always asking me, hey, how do I get a job? Well, guess what? Let's work on how to never get a job, and then we can go backwards from there, okay? So number one, so you have the coding skill. You are really good at it, and you want to get a job. You have to improve you say you want to improve your skills and become a better programmer, but your actions tell me otherwise, and your actions always speak louder than words. This article is coming out the gates, and it is hot. All right, I'm loving this, okay? I'm loving this right off the rip. This is going to be super exciting. Here we go. As we enter a more complex financial environment and companies are laying a lot of people off, it has never been easier to lose your job or be unable to get a new one. In this article, I want to present to you a step-by-step approach to guarantee that you won't get a new job. Let's go. Oh, yeah, the article is assuming. You're absolutely right. The article is assuming you're a piece, okay? And guess what? Maybe I agree with them. Maybe I also think the same thing about you, okay? All right, first off, nice wallet, jerk. What's that thing? Let's see. Always stick to your current tools. Message for the TypeScripters. Message for the TypeScripters. Always stick to your current tools. Be overconfident in your skills. You know enough. You have learned jQuery in 2017. That's great. It gets the job done, and maybe you're even able to make a few portfolio websites back then. Why would you waste your time learning new technologies if tool you already know works just fine? Sure, it creates less maintainable code in the end. Actually unsure about that argument with jQuery. I don't know if you've been in large React projects, okay? Oh, no, trust us. Trust us. This is maintainable code. By the way, every 2 years, React will change its mind and completely deprecate everything you've written forever and ever and ever and ever. And trust us, it's actually good. Apter did not create a Twitter movement. Don't worry. Sure, it creates less maintainable code in the end, isn't as modular, and doesn't fit the architecture of more complex modern applications, but it works. Also, nice period. Also, it's not like the other tools like React or Vue don't have their own problems, and why would you add problems to your life? Hell yeah, girl. You should learn, obviously, some sort of top-down rendering type system like React or any of those, because it's good to understand kind of how the UI works, and then you pick a real proper library like Solid.js or something like that. Don't switch up paradigms. You're a front-end developer at heart. That's right, you pixel miner. Whoopsies, I just pressed check mark. Wait, what the heck? What did I just press? I hate these sites where when you highlight something, little bubbles pop up. You know what? I'm reading, okay? I don't need your bubbles. I don't need your bubbles. I don't need your bubbles in my business, okay? Don't worry. The recession will end. ChatGPT will shut down, and your skills in designing beautiful browser boxes will stay relevant forever. Love it. Don't look into other aspects of programming like backend or DevOps or security. You don't need that extra work time that you could instead spend on the latest Netflix series. Okay, hey, you know what? Streamberry does produce some good stuff, okay? Okay, I'm just saying, I'm not talking bad about some of the Streamberry stuff. And hey, The Witcher's about to come out, okay? I'm just saying, like, you can spend some time on it, you know what I mean? Just, like, not all the time, okay? Wait for job offers to come to you. Let's admit it. Applying to jobs is hard. Dude, nothing is... Okay, so real talk about applying to jobs. There is nothing more infuriating... Where's my bubble? Okay, now I highlight and there's... Okay, there's the bubble. No bubble? Bubble. No bubble? Bubble. I found a bug. I should be a QA. Give me a job. Whatever website this is. Let's admit it. Applying to jobs is hard. You need to maintain an always updating resume, search for companies, go through interviews, and probably get rejected by some of them. My guess is that it does not bubble for complete sentences. Nope. My guess is that it doesn't bubble for anything that starts at the first character. Nope. And it bubbles again. Damn it. I've been had. Wait, what happened if you start on a period? Damn it. Okay, I have no idea how I had that for a moment. Anyways, all this stress, why bother applying for jobs when you can just sit back, relax, and wait for the offers to come to you? I recommend you avoid all job search websites and don't bother networking. Keep irrational hope that job offer falls into your lap without any effort on your part. So this is actually extremely good advice, which is... Where's the bubble? Where's the bubble? This is actually really good advice in the sense that when you are looking for a job, networking is huge. Most of your jobs are going to probably come from you knowing somebody else. Like knowing somebody, being able to interact with somebody, being able to prove to somebody you're a competent coder is just an amazing experience to be able to get people to get you a job. It's like it's really, really important. So I would highly recommend networking. I highly recommend finding ways to show that you're competent, right? Totally on that. What if the people I work with know I suck? Well, then that's terrifying. Hey, nice one. Give up easily. Absolutely. In the rare case that a job offer does come to you in some miraculous way, it shouldn't be miraculous. It's important to keep this one crucial step in mind, whether it's during the technical interview or the take-home task. If you ever feel stuck, give up. Okay, so I do want to address this because I do think that this is actually a really unique thing that is being said right here, which is specifically in the technical interview. one of the hardest parts about it is that you will absolutely 100% at some point reach a point in which you cannot immediately see the answer. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. And so being able to take a moment, take a step back, and take a breath is incredible. All right, hold on just 1 second. All right, there we go. Well done. There we go. Sorry. Hey, Flip, are you in here? Can you mark this? There we go. Sorry. People be distracting me. No problem. All right. Anyways, there we go. Let's see. Last time. Anyways, so a big thing about tech interviews is that you have to be able to stay focused. You have to, I always, every single time I get asked any question in a tech interview, I completely and absolutely go, I don't know the answer. I don't know it at all. I don't know how to approach any further. And I have to take a step back and go, okay, hold on. Whoa. I actually do know the answer. Let's just step through what I know. Okay. What do I know about data structures? What is linked list, arrays, trees, graphs? Okay. Now that I know those things, let's take the next step. What does this problem look like? What can I draw out of this problem? How can I, go from point A to point B? And you have to kind of take these steps slowly. And honestly, it gets really easy to solve a lot of these problems. I have virtually never practiced I think I've probably done a total of maybe 20 leak code questions in my entire lifetime. And the reason why I can successfully do interviews is because I just know data structures and algorithms well. And you can just apply that to almost every single problem you're going to interact with. It just makes life a lot easier if you go that route. And so whenever you get stuck, just taking a step back and walk through what you know is huge. Right? It's not like they're going to be, it's not like they are paying you for it anyways. The actual job was probably going to be too low. Make up any other excuses you find fitting. And then, and just get back to your own super interesting, stress-free life. This opportunity came from nowhere, so probably a lot more will come. It's true. So I like this. I love this piece of advice. As long as you can apply the giving up part. I think that's the hardest. Does anyone in here kind of do you struggle in the technical interview? Press 1 in the chat if you struggle with the technical interview. All right, how about this one? Let's see. I don't know. I've only done one in my life. How about this one? Let's invert it. 69 in the chat if you don't struggle with technical interviews. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of non-strugglers as well. Okay, so it's kind of both. So here's the real question. Okay, so just a real question. This can be a 2-part question. Out of all the people that have pressed 1, how many of you have practiced tons of leak code questions? Tons of them. How many is tons? More than 50. So there are a lot of zeros in here, which is a bit surprising, which is kind of interesting. How about this one? Out of all the people that struggle, type 1 in the chat right now if you have a strong grasp on data structures and algorithms. You should struggle a bit. No, you shouldn't. There's no should. There's absolutely no should. Okay, interesting. Some zeros and 0.5s, some question marks. I don't know, I just find it interesting because personally, strong grasp, you can do a linked list stack queue. You can build a binary tree, general tree. You can depth first, breadth first search, compare 2 binary trees, do Dijkstra's algorithm, do a couple sorting algorithms. You understand how to do a binary search is a pretty simple thing. A heap, you should know what a heap is. Let's see. I had a great piece of advice from my mother-in-law that the biggest issue with the current education system is that it teaches people patterns to memorize rather than understanding the actual process. Yeah, that's pretty good. You should be able to assert dominance in an interview and just write it in Rust. I love that part. No, but real talk, like I don't think struggling in an interview is a requirement. I think the thing is that clear communication is the requirement. So if you understand the problem and you know how to solve it, you like the thing that the interview is looking for is that they want to know that you can hear what they say, conceptualize it, turn it into a step-by-step answer and be like, here's what you said, here is how I'd answer it, here's what the complete solution would look like, and I'm going to take all these ideas upstairs and I'm going to turn it into code that you can understand. Right? Like that's really what I like to look for. If you can do that without like any hesitation, I am shocked. Now, most people struggle in some way, and that's totally fine. And a big thing is, can you recover from struggling? That's like also a big thing. So me as the interviewer, I'm going to be really there trying to help you. Yeah, big companies test DP sometimes, I know, but those are so stupid. Honestly, like when they're like, give us the maximum subarray, you're just like, gosh dang it. I don't remember how it works. Let's just try to play around with it. And you're like, maximum subarray. Okay, how could it possibly work? Well, if at any point it goes 0 or negative, then that means that is the maximum part is within there. Okay, right? I hate that. Any good DSA course, funny you should say that. I have a free one on Front End Masters right here. Free forever. I was a memorize-only student, and now I struggle visualizing complex recursive functions. Yeah. Dynamic programming, definitely not this. Just real talk, like knowing those, incredible what you can open the doors with. I don't think leak code is a great way to become prepared for interviews. I just don't. I truly, truly don't think it's good. I think understanding fundamentally the basic algorithms are going to get you 90% of the way and just make you more useful in actual programming. You know what? No one cares that you can solve the cityscape program or the cityscape problem. No one cares. No one cares. I'm sorry. No one cares. Right? No one cares about your two-sum, right? If leak code is fun, knock yourself out. Great way to train, right? It's a great way to apply what you know to continuously practice. Fine. Enjoy it. I like problem solving. I kind of like doing problem solving stuff. I got regionals in ACM programming competition. I was kind of into it, right? Like I used to do it a lot. In college, I was totally into ACM programming competitions. I get it. You know? Leak code is necessary if you want to be into Fang. No, it's not. I'm in Fang. I got into Fang before there was such thing as leak code. I got into a second Fang without ever doing a thing of leak code. I've had offers in 3 Fangs without ever doing leak code. Netflix, by the way. You don't have to do it. Lucky guy? Maybe it was luck, but I personally like to think that it was a decade of applying myself extremely hard and having an opportunity to show my skills. That's me personally. Maybe I'm different. Never challenge yourself with coding projects. Programming is a job. It isn't a hobby. Use your free time for stuff that's less labor intensive. Play video games, watch TV, and daydream about the future. You're gonna code a lot in your future career anyway, so why bother now? Don't even try to contribute to open source. FOSS is a scam. You shouldn't code for other people for free. Exactly, because GitHub Copilot's gonna steal all your codes anyways. Just use what the open source community creates and never give back. 100%. Stay on the surface. Don't bother with the intricacies of the tools you are using. Why would you learn how React works under the hood or how TCP handshakes work? Who cares? Your language server communicates with your editor. I actually really love this paragraph right here. This might be my favorite piece of advice of all time. The fact that most people don't even realize, like, I mean, how many times? So one thing that just makes me understand you've never looked into the tools is when people be like, oh, yeah, well, you know, VS Code autocomplete, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, well, actually, it's a language server, and that's available everywhere. Just saying. Just saying what you're saying is not quite right. I don't know if you know this. And IntelliJ autocomplete is greater than LSP. Now, IntelliJ, on the other hand, actually built their own thing, right? That's different. It's different. Let's see. VS Code Python autocomplete is proprietary now. Is it wait, it went proprietary now? I thought Pylance was always proprietary. Unless you're talking about C++ IntelliSense or Pylance. Well, yeah, JetBrains has CLion, which has a lot of their own stuff. Totally okay with that. All right, totally okay. Who the hell spends their entire life? No one spends their entire life studying for a $60,000 job. No one does. But you got to get a $60,000 job. Okay, buddy? And you guess what? You don't just get that by doing nothing. Okay? Because here's the deal. When you do nothing and the other million people do stuff all the time, guess who ain't getting that? You know what I mean? That's just how it works. Treat all of these like black boxes and never look deeply into them. Even if it breaks, it's not your problem. It's the problem of the person who made it in the first place. Going back to the first point, stick to the tools you know, including your editor. Vim or Emacs or these other extensible, customizable editors are a nerdy waste of time. You're better than that. This is actually a very common view. Ignore the benefits of content creation. On the topic of never giving back, you shouldn't educate others. By the way, this is not an educational channel, as I've been accused of, okay? You are good at what you do, so you should guard your secrets. So why waste your time creating content like blog posts, tutorials, or even tweets? Don't bother contributing to the community or building your personal brand. Ignore the fact that content creation can lead to professional opportunities and help establish your expertise in the industry. Remember, staying in your comfort zone and never sharing your knowledge is the secret to staying ahead of the curve. Hell yeah, this is a lifestyle channel. It's slowly going to become my workout channel here soon. Avoid professional development opportunities. By this time, you're almost guaranteed. Oh, by the way, one little bit on this one. Even if you don't ever create content, try building a course. Real talk. Try building a course. It's actually incredible the amount of things you will learn on a topic you already know a lot about. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Prime, how much do I have to pay for an interview for you? Here's the deal, Alex. You're asking, which means it's too expensive. It's crazy how much you will learn just writing through everything, because that means you have to take what you kind of know in nebulous form and defend it into concrete form, which is shocking how much you've assumed you know versus how much you actually know. By the way, it is $5 a month. Even if you get Twitch Prime, that's for free, except for the 80 or 120 or whatever it is it costs you a month, a year you're paying. Use that. Let's see, avoid professional development opportunities. By this time, you're almost guaranteed to not get a job. Wait, you mean you're guaranteed to get a job? But just to put the nail in the coffin, you should avoid all professional development opportunities. This includes networking, making friends who are also programmers, and participating in hackathons. You should also ignore any programming content on the internet, like courses for free, for courses or free YouTube videos. Don't bother participating in anything that could potentially enhance your skills, knowledge, or brand image. At the end of the article, I want to remind you that life is short. You're not always going to have tomorrow. Enjoy today and make sure you spend as much time possible not working. Get out of bed late in the day, never exercise, scroll social media. This is actually super good. You know, this last one, I personally find that when I scroll Twitter, I actually get anxiety every single time. I can actually like feel it boiling up. When I make it past like the first 2 pages, I can feel anxiety. It's crazy. It makes me like sick. I don't want to use it. So I stay away from scrolling. I don't read Twitter almost anymore. It's just like, ugh. I literally only shitpost at this point. It's too scary. It's too much. It's too much. Doom scrolling YouTube shorts. I also stay away from shorts for this exact same reason. I feel like it would suck my time away. Thank you, Bill Burr. I like the Bill Burr compliment. I'll also accept Steve Carell, even though you did spell his name like a crazy person. That's not how his last name's, typed. Looking looking at a car crash. I don't want to see it, but I can't look away. Lately, I have had OCaml manual on my phone in an open tab, and I'm just reading the whole thing in downtime. Interesting. I like it. It's not a bad idea. I was doing that with Zig, right? I think it's pretty good. Me personally, I can't recommend any of the free things. I think Front End Masters, personally, again, is my favorite place to go. Here's my courses, which none of them are actually front end, but there's tons of front end stuff on it, and so I think that they're one of the best. Solution to the NPM mess. I don't think that. Also, when is blue hair? There is no blue hair. Stop asking for the blue hair. The name is the ThePrimeagen. Blue Heroagen? No, not hero. Heragen. Blue Furagen. Okay, end of file. End of file. Blue mustache would be dope AF. Would it be? Because then I have to, like, cut the whole damn thing off. I'd also look like an idiot. Hey, man, why is your mustache blue? Well, you see, there's, like, these... So, like, there's the... So, like, you know, my boys on the internet, they're all like, hey, dog, it'd be sweet if you had a blue mustache. And I was like, yo, man, it'd be sweet if I had a blue mustache. Then my father-in-law and all of his investment banker friends are like, yeah, totally, boys on the internet. And then I lose my coolness with my father-in-law. Again, speaking of Montana again, you're speaking Montanian again, yeah. Investment banker friends, yeah, not me. You got to give the internet what it wants. I know. I lose it all again because of you guys. All right, let's turn on alerts. So you're saying we aren't cool? Yeah, of course you're not cool. You know this. You know this. It's okay. None of us are cool. You are in a stream about programming on the internet. You're not
Welcome
cool.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
That's okay.
Welcome to Costco.
In our circle, we're cool,
you.
Okay? Our circle, we're the cool ones here.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
But when you talk about that in normal life with a bunch of other normal people, they're like, you did what now, boy? Okay, so I get this programming thing. You're all like dippity-dappity and fixing printers and shit. But what you're telling me is that all of you guys get together and watch one person go dippity-dappity. Boy, that's stupider than watching video games. At least I can see a 360 no-scope. You know what I mean? Dippity-dappity. Right? Printing printer, yep. Hey, wait a second. Brazilians are like the Felipeogen. Let's see, what you're saying is that I should gotten a girl before I started coding. Absolutely. You become massively uncool. I literally just got asked to fix a printer when I was buying a bagel this morning because the guy knew I was a programmer. Got him. You just wanted a bagel. They just want you to fix their printer. Fair trade. Bagels for life. Fix your printer. Fixing printer is a great way to get a date, to be honest. I don't know what the I stands for, and to be honest. To intensely be honest. Video games make you stupid. I'm unsure if they make you stupid. I don't think that. For RSI, what are your thoughts on Dvorak versus Colmac? I just suggest a better keyboard. My bagel guy tried to get me to fix his router last Christmas. That's really... I'm already stupid. I'm already studpid. That's funny. Your mom keeps asking me to fix her printer, but I don't think she has a printer. All right, hey, thank you, Kafarel66. Appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you for that tier 1, baby. Prince of Provo. Let's go. I got the Prince of Provo. Let's go. Anyways, thank you. Z Lates. I owe a lot of my career to you. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime 4 months, baby. Alex, how do I improve my communication skills for explaining answers? Do you really want to know the answer to that question, or is it completely and obvious? And I do mean this in a nice way. I'm not trying to be a dick here. Get out a whiteboard and explain it out loud. Practice. It's always the answer. Anytime someone says, how do I X? The answer is you practice, okay? No one says, how do I get good at basketball?
Welcome to Costco.
And people say, oh, just go join the game with everybody that already knows how to play basketball super well. No. They say, okay, go learn the rules, go learn how to dribble, go learn how to shoot, kind of practice a little bit, and also play the real game, right? You know what I mean? Prompt engineer in the mirror, the algos. Just watch basketball. Just watch basketball. Actually, so there is studies that show that by watching somebody else do an activity, you will actually, by extension, your body will start learning what they're doing. So by you, TJ, and I typing fast on stream, you actually slowly make the generation ahead of us type faster. Yeah. Holy cow! I am sorry. Or congratulations. All right, I'll read it. Doc, I am doing all this time. I'll ask ChatGPT, and if he answers correctly, I'm telling him that he is wrong, so he can't understand which path to take and leave it like that. If he is answering wrong, I'm chasing him for the correct answer, and once he responds correct, I repeat the first step. Let me know if it's good strategy to slow down AI. Good luck. And we actually see if you think about it, Mr. Miyagi screwed everyone on how to learn stuff on the sum level. This is true. Mr. Miyagi has truly done us all a disservice. All right, better record yourself doing it so you can learn via embarrassment. Yeah, no, this is actually really good advice too. Doc, when are you streaming some games? You know I don't stream games, okay? It's true. You make me type faster, and also doing macro magic. I love it. I hope they train Chat GPT on Twitch, so Twitch chat, so I never have to worry about it taking my job. That was the worst. I read that sentence horribly, but you get the joke. Lie. You stream co-op. I do stream co-op. I can't help it that I'm the best co-opper this side of the Mississippi, okay? I can't help it. It's a life I live. All right. We got to do the grug. You guys want to do grug? You guys want to do grugs? You guys want to do grugs? Does your work on your Linux? Yes? All right, boys and girls, it's grug time. Grug on testing. Grug have love-hate relationship with test. Tef save Grug many uncountable time, and Grug love and respect test. I just turned off alerts, by the way. Can someone tell me congratulations right now? Tell it to me. You know what? You should press the like button because I just turned it off, and you don't have to hear, welcome to Costco. I love you. All right. Unfortunately, also many test shamans exist. Some test shaman make test idle. Demand things like first test before Grug even write code or have any idea what Grug doing domain. I love shitting on TDD. This is beautiful. How Grug test what Grug not even understand domain yet? Oh, don't worry. The test will show you what you need to do. Once again, Grug once again catch Grug slowly reaching for club, but Grug stay calm. Good job, Grug. I do agree, Grug. This is pure nonsense. Grug instead prefer write most tests after prototype phase when code has begun firm up. Typically at that point when the code begins to firm, I'm pretty firm too, feeling ready to write some tests. You know, not too many tests, right? You just want the tip. You don't want to go all in on it. You don't want like a whole thing. You just want just enough. You know what I mean? That's right, Pick. You know what I'm talking about, Pick. You know. Pick out there, tip out all day. Okay, we all know this. By the way, Pick, there's gonna be at least 40,000 people that hear me say that exact phrase about you. So, sorry, you're welcome. Go follow Pick on Twitter. But note, Grug must here be very disciplined. Easy Grug to move on and not write tests because work on Grug's machine. This very, very bad. No guarantee work on other machine and no guarantee work on Grug machine in future many times. Test Shaman have good point on importance of test. Even if Test Shaman often sometimes not complete useful feature in life and talk only about test all time. Deserve a club, but heart in right place. I think this is specifically calling out Dave Farley. That's pretty funny. Also, Test Shaman often talk unit test very much, but Grug not so find useful. Grug experience that ideal tests are not unit tests or either end-to-end tests, but in-between tests. Dude, love it! Unit tests, fine. Okay, but break as implementation change, much compared to API. And make refactor hard, and frankly, many bugs anyway often do interactions other code. Often throw away when code change. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely great point. Absolutely. Grug write unit tests mostly at start of project, help get things going, but not get too attached or expect value long time. End-to-end test, good. Show whole system work, but hard to understand when break and drive Grug crazy very often. Sometimes Grug just ends up ignoring because, oh, that breaks all the time. Very bad. Dude, I'm totally onto this. I love this. Absolutely love what is going on right here, which is unit tests. I find unit tests only super useful when pretty much tied to implementation. And what I mean by that is that you have an exceptionally hard, narrow thing in which the what does he call it? The something spirit demon. Complexity spirit demon. When the complexity spirit demon is just strong in one small area, and there's just like no way to make that simple. And it's extremely hard to get right first try, and you have to run it like 19 times to make the thing probably correct. To me, unit test that. It's tied into implementation. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. End to end, though, I hate working with real data. I don't want a single service, ever to be involved. I hate it. In between tests, Grug here, Shaman call integration tests, sometimes often with sour look on face, but Grug say integration test sweet spot according to Grug. High level enough test correctness of system, low level enough with good debugger, easy to see what break. Like it. Grug prefers some unit tests, especially to start, but not 100% all code test, and definitely not first test. Yes! Yes! Test along the way. Work pretty well for Grug, especially as Grug figure things out. Grug focus much ferocious integration test effort as cut point emerge and system stabilize. So I like this. So one thing that I really try to do, because I build predominantly tools. So if you don't know, I'm just a tool and I build tools. And so what I do is I always try to make all my tools either take in a file or standard in, treat that the same, and then that way, as I do my operation, I can actually do mock data in. Fantastic, right? And then on top of that, any data requesting, when I enable an integration test, I always make it so that any data request throws an exception. Because sometimes, by accident, you're going to have some level of data requesting actually sneak in, right? I've had some happen where data changed on the other side, and all my integration tests worked except for one tiny, teeny, tiny bit that was actually requesting like the title of a video or something like that, and I didn't realize it was requesting the title of a video. That service worked every single time, except for when they changed the title, and then completely and absolutely dominated me. And so, you know, it's just that's how I do it. You know what I mean? That's what I like to do. I like to be really, 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 really specific on those things. Anyways, cut point API, hopefully stable, compare implementation and integration test remain valuable many long time and easy to debug. I still find integration tests kind of hard to debug, right? They're definitely not easy because it's the entire system, right? The entire system always makes everything difficult. Or most of the system, right? Is configuring NeoVim a wasting your time? No. Also, small, well-curated end-to-end test suite is created to be kept working religiously, on pain of clubbing. Focus of important end-to-end test on most common UI features and few most important edge cases, but not too many or become impossible to maintain, then ignore. This is so true. Who here, type 1 in the chat if you've worked at a place that has failing tests, but they never get fixed, and there becomes this one test that fails 50% of the time. Press 1. Yeah. There's definitely like this. This happens all the time. But here's the worst part. Sometimes the test fails for real. And you're just like, that's that one test. It fails all the time. Let it go. And then you're like, oh shit, it's broken. We just had a meeting about it. It's one of the most common problems in programming is failing tests. Okay, so I always have, I've heard people try to argue differently, but generally this is how it goes. I prefer, in order, correct data, missing data, bad data. So, same thing with tests. Correct test, no test, flaky test. Because if you have a flaky test, that is the worst of all outcomes, especially when it's a sporadic one that makes rounds against all different tests. Because at that point, you have to think, oh, you know, if it fails a couple times, whatever, I've seen these different tests all pass, it's probably okay. Right? It's actually the worst. It is by far the worst, right? No. I prefer 200, 404, 500. I don't prefer 200, 500, 404. 500 worse. 500 bad. 500 bad like fake data or bad data. Bad data bad. Every single time. Bad data is the worst. Bad data is single-handedly the worst thing you can do for a company. If you have bad data as a company, you will hands down create and do features and make things for people that don't exist or what they're doing does not exist, and you'll think you're doing a good job. Bad data is the worst. 419, I'm a teapot. I'll accept that as well. This ideal set of tests to Grug, or this ideal set of tests to Grug, you may not like, but this peak Grug testing. Also, Grug disliked mocking and testing. If you have to mock, you've done something wrong. Fight me. This, again, is why I think a little bit of unit testing makes you a better programmer. If you know how to unit test, you will start building things in which you'd stop mocking. It's so effing simple. Jump in here. Okay, I know we're in here. Okay, blah, 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 blah. You have some function complex that does a bunch of stuff, right? It's in here and it does just a bunch of crap, right? Blah, 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 blah. Very, very much so complex. And in here, you do something stupid like import fs from fs, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, you'll do something like file name, whatever. Oh, string, there we go. And it passes out a string. Why not, right? We'll just do this, return this, bam, bam, bam. And you go up here and you go like this, const, whatever. There you go. Read file sync. Got it. Nailed it, right? Bad. This is bad. Don't do this. Don't do that. Instead, you write two things. You have complex. Whoopsies. Oh, my goodness. I somehow jumped there. Okay, Vim, just too powerful for me. Instead, you have, file contents, right? And you do the complex stuff right here. That's where the complex stuff happens. Then you have another function that's actually like, get the effing data. And it goes in and it gets the data, right? Like that's the one you want to do right here because that's the one you don't have to mock anymore. This is the thing you're testing. This is the thing that integrates with the environment. Stop mocking this step. It is bad for your health, for the health of everyone around you. Unless the file is 1 terabyte big. Stop the music. Stop the music. Hey, come here. If you have a unit test or an integration test or an end-to-end test that involves a 1 terabyte long file, I would strongly recommend thinking a touch more. Because first off, reading a terabyte is going to take several seconds. And then after you do all that, you're going to crash your API constantly. Because guess what? Hey, guess what, dummy? Node.js has like a maximum 4 gigabyte heap without that special flag. You don't got that much memory sitting around on your computer. It's not going to work out anyway. So it's just that the whole notion and everything you're saying don't make no frankincense, okay? So don't do that. Make simple things you can test, because simple things to test equals simple things to debug. Simple things to debug equals you don't spend your time just crying because every time that one test breaks, you know you have a 4-hour what the just happened debugging session. No good. Okay? Keep it simple, stupid. And I mean that. Okay? I mean that. I'm not calling you stupid, Karen. Okay? I think you're clearly talented and you know things. You're a people person, okay? That's different. See, I'm an engineer, okay? I don't talk to people, Karen, okay? We're different, okay? We're different. All right, hey, the compiler is my unit test. I'll remember that because I don't think I want to work with you. All right, anyways, don't worry, if it builds, it works. Right. Because when you write Rust, it certainly could never have a logical bug or a memory leak. Nope, that doesn't exist in Rust world. No. Also, Grug dislike mocking in test. Prefer only when absolute necessary to rare/never and coarse grain mocking. Cut point systems. Only at that. One exception. First test. Dislike by Grug. When bug found, Grug always tried to reproduce bug, or first reproduce bug with regression test, then fix bug. This case only, for some reason, worked better. Yeah, I get that. I get this. Like, the whole write a new test for every bug you fix, it's kind of an interesting thing because it depends on, where the bug is and what happened and how it happened. Is it just like some stupid thing you've done that you're not going to mess up again, right? Like, has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever had someone just like added a 1 where a 1 shouldn't be? Maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should. I don't know. It's kind of hard because now you're like testing the implementation directly as opposed to like the output, and it can be a little bit tricky. I'm always a little worried about how close you get to the source code when it comes to testing. I'm always a little worried. I never know the right answer, but I don't know the wrong answer. You know what I mean? What up, Monty Coder? Hey, guess what? That's Grug on testing. Huh? Hey, if you press like enough, I might even just read. Agile, okay? I just might. Who am I kidding? The name is ThePrimeagen. Grug, when dev hour? Very, very soon. Very, very soon. We're going to get Grug on very, very soon. Me and him chatted already. We're both, we're both from the same place. Where I lived, he called Real Montana. Yeah. For real? Yeah. Yeah, we're both from the same city. I mean, he didn't grow up in that city. It's a little different, but, you get it. Did he follow you on Twitter? He did. Yeah, he did. He followed me on Twitter. Let's see, did you do the Falcor article? Which one? Grug call QA for testing. Yeah. Can we make a programming language in the dialect of Grug? No, I don't want to do that. The hypergraph. The hypergraph. Thank you very much for the tier 1 2 months. Let's go, baby. In before Grug is better is Prime alter ego? Not. Remember when Furry Prime did coding on stream? Missed you too, buddy. The switch from Falcor to SoyQL. Oh, we haven't read that one yet. How do you handle discrepancies in Git tools between VS Code and Vim? I don't know what that means, discrepancy in tools. How's there? They should just be wrappers on Git. How's there different answers? You do listen to music with lyrics. I do. Yeah. Can a good linter config substitute 1 gigabyte of useless unit tests? Maybe. Like, again, this is why I'm pretty restrictive on what unit test do I write. My general rule of thumb is that if I cannot get the thing to operate correctly in 3 tries, I'm writing a unit test. Generally is my rule, right? I think it's actually a pretty good rule because, a lot of times, like, you don't need to write a unit test. You just don't. You just don't. You really, really don't. But the times you do, you should really consider it because it's just hard enough. What the Flux Dreambird? You don't know what Dreambird is? Oh, you're missing out. Nah, you're editor, but also another ID on the side. I don't even know what it is. Hey, Prime, YYP this into your terminal. Okay. So you probably dislike TDD? I hate TDD. TDD is worthless. The only place where TDD makes sense is in something like a compiler. And the reason why that makes sense, let me hit you with why that makes sense. It's because a lexer is a solved problem with ins and outs. A parser is a solved problem with ins and outs. Every part of a compiler is a solved problem. TDD's nuts. Damn. By the way, Pick, I missed you last night, just to let you know. No, there's no coverage. I actually did have a coverage threshold requirement on my team. I made it, and then I also threw it away. I am tormenting my EE capstone project. Oh, nice. Good job. With Lepto, Rust, and Nix. Okay, had to explain what Git was to 4 or 5 of them. Damn. Well, you're going to go really far. What about Tej DD? Don't give me the D, Tej. Hey, they found the submarine. Really? Wow. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't really love end-to-end tasks. Man. Okay, I am going to say one statement about the submarine. Okay? I'm going to say one statement. I'm going to regret this. I can already tell I'm going to regret this probably. I think... Well, actually, I don't regret this. But people always have just such crazy opinions. They're just crazy. I am genuinely 100% sad for everyone that was on board. I don't care about all the stupid shit that led to it. I think sitting in a dark containment until you slowly run out of air is a horrifying, horrifying experience. And, like, I don't think people deserve that. Even if they're a horrible person and they deserve to die, I think you deserve to either be shot or hung. You shouldn't be trapped in a submarine for an exceptionally long time and slowly suffocate. Like, that's cruel, right? So it's the same reason why, like, when I have cows and stuff, I like them to be free range, and then we kill them. We give them a good life, and we kill them properly, and they're delicious meat, and I eat them, right? I don't treat them poorly. I don't eat veal. I don't think veal's good. I think veal's kind of a piece of shit move. It's the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Just how I personally feel. I just try to treat things well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad because a lot of people are going to comment about, like what the CEO, what corners he cut, which is very stupid. His hiring decisions, I saw a lot of people tweeting about that, arguing about some crap. I didn't read into it. I'm not going to read about it. I saw a bunch of people arguing, oh, well, billionaires deserve it or some shit. Like, no. Makes me sad. Okay? Makes me sad. If someone truly deserves to be murdered, like me personally, I think if you are 100% unescapably caught raping somebody, you deserve to die. I would just prefer the old firing squad or hanging, right? Not trapped in a submarine until you shit all over the submarine and slowly die over the course of some amount of many, many hours. That sounds horrifying. Ugh. Anyway, sorry. It just, it makes me sick to my stomach. I just can't stop. I just keep thinking about being trapped in the black abyss. Like, truly, being trapped in a submarine until you die of lack of oxygen is like level 2 of hell. Like, actual hell. Right? Cold, filled with shit and terror, perfectly dark. It's gruesome. I can't think like that. I think it collapsed, though. Oh, it collapsed, though? Ooh, even worse. Or I guess technically better If you're gonna die, I'd rather have the pressure of the ocean than the slow, inevitable understanding. You know what I mean? Ugh. Ugh. They didn't find the submarine. They found debris near where they thought it should be. Also, you wouldn't die from suffocating. You would die from hypoxia, which is basically you slowly getting dizzy till you pass out. Yeah, it's still shitty. Like, I get it. Okay, I understand you're breathing in carbon dioxide, and you just like nothing's happening, and then you bleh, right? I get that. But still, like, that doesn't sound good. Well, don't worry, they didn't suffocate in the shitty dark space. They got hypoxia. You see the difference at hour 69 when they shit there. At that point, it was hypoxia. You know, it's just like, dude, stop. Get your fedora off. Okay, it's okay. I understand some people's fedoras inside their head. You don't need. Yeah, you know. It's still horrifying. It's horrifying. Right? Ugh. Anyways. Gosh, now I feel like I feel sick right now. Someone said how to hire Clojure developers. Don't build a product with Clojure. Simple. Let's see. I hang my fedora on the D. Okay. Let's see. Okay, time to move on. Yeah, from the hell on the sub. Yeah. All right, hold on. I think I have a Pavu control problem. If I'm not mistaken, my output is going from there. I need to go to configuration, and I need to go to that, and then do that. And then I think now if I press play.
Let's get right to the point.
Got him. All right, I wanted to do one more Simon Dev one. Is that okay? Can we do one more Simon Dev one? Is that like a thing we're all okay with? Pulse Audio, shut up. Yes. I have not seen this one.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Hey, I love you too, Block Solid. We are about to turn off alerts. Just turn it off. There we go. Again, I'm a genius. All right, here we go. Playing with the garbage collection. So this is Simon Dev, amazing YouTuber. For those that are wondering, no, I have not fixed my screen tearing. You are welcome. I'm still on i3. Everyone's like, oh, don't worry, you just adjust all these settings. I've tried adjusting the settings. I cannot get screen tearing to go away, but Sway somehow alleviates it all. So I just haven't done it yet, okay? I haven't done it yet, okay? I had to undo Sway due to some presentation problems I had, and now I'm willing to go back.
Let's get right to...
You need PCOM. You're right, because I'm definitely not running effing PCOM. Fine. I'm running PCOM. Look, PCOM's now officially running. Screen tear will still happen. It's not PCOM. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Shut up about the screen tearing. All right, here we go. We're going to do screen tearing, everybody. Oh, Windows helps. Sure.
Let's get right to the point, shall we? Is JavaScript's garbage collector as bad as some people think it is?
Are any of these me? I wonder if any of these things are me. I'm like, who said these things? Are they me? Because this is really what so me personally, so I'm just gonna come out there and say it. It depends on the activity. On a server, an improvement in garbage collection rate can make a huge difference if your server's under load. It can make an enormous difference. I assume with games, you have a lot of the same things. It just depends on how they're all me. They might all be me.
I have no idea. So let's poke at this a bit and see if we can learn something.
Yeah.
Basically, when you allocate memory in languages like C++, you have to explicitly free it. Otherwise, you have a memory
It's like
leak.
playing Worm or something.
In languages like JavaScript, C#, Java, Go, these are all garbage collected languages. They handle a good chunk of the memory management for you.
Yep. Abstract memory management, though, also ends up being, it's not the most efficient form. But let's keep on going. But it's really lovely to program.
Memory,
right?
At some point, JavaScript has to decide when you're done with it.
Yep.
So if I allocate an array, here's my array somewhere in memory. And then I fill that array with stuff. So a number, a string, it
Yep.
really doesn't matter. Now, if I go and null out one of the entries in the array, this little blob of memory here kind of gets left stranded now. It has no connection to anything anymore. Nothing refers to it. In other words, it's not
This is
reachable.
mark and sweep,
If we
classic
start at a
mark and
root
sweep
object,
going on right here.
we can't reach that little blob, and thus it's garbage.
Yep.
It's safe to reclaim that memory because nothing can possibly be using it anymore. That's the general idea anyway. Let's see it in action with some code.
There you go. If you haven't read about it, I believe V8 has a really good breakdown of this mark and sweep V8. If I'm not mistaken, they have like a whole, they have their whole talk about it. Pretty cool, pretty neat stuff. Lots of stuff. Blah 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 blah. They also, they have it for all their V8 stuff. It's pretty interesting. The memory management stuff. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. Again, I cannot believe that V8. That team has created an environment in which JavaScript can potentially run fast, which is shocking. All right, I will increase the speed.
What I've done here is I've written a really dumb test that just spam fills an object with random strings
TJ.
and other objects. This is called by a request animation frame, kind of.
This is not an educational comment. Remove the captions. No, I keep captions, baby. Get out of here. Stop telling them about business. Everyone's like, shut up. Twitch, I'm going to throw punch you.
Like you would in a game loop. So see
there we
here,
go.
I create data, set it to empty to start.
Yep.
Then I loop over and create a bunch of junk in there. Basically a linked list of objects with random names. And these all have to allocate memory. The strings take up memory, as do the objects themselves. This data variable isn't used anymore at the end of each loop, so we're achieving our goal of wasting.
Hold on. We start at the start. Oh, he's creating like a linked list, sort of. Right? Interesting approach. This is a very interesting approach. So he's creating an object with a singular key, as far as I can tell. Take the singular key, do this, and it's going to create a linked list 20 deep 100,000 times, right?
Memory and forcing the garbage collector to act. So in order to actually test this, you need to be able to measure how much time JavaScript spends in garbage collection.
Or actually, really the memory tab.
You could pull up DevTools and hit the
very
performance button and dig around there, but there's actually another way that's slightly less known. This is Chrome tracing, the backbone of Chrome's performance testing framework. Hundreds of benchmarks measuring who knows how many thousands of metrics are built on this. In another life, I was an owner here and even led the infra team monitoring and processing all this data. It's pretty cool. You can see and attribute time to various calls, see IPCs between processes. In general, it just gives way, way more info.
If you've never used telemetry by Epic Games, it used to be by Rad Gaming Tools. This is very, very similar to that one. There are some, obviously, you have huge impacts into performance, taking all this stuff, but it's fairly lightweight. You can see a lot of internal tools. It's the Chrome tracing tool, Perfetto.
For our purposes, I think it'll just be easier to focus on what we want to know, garbage collection events.
Yep.
So from here, you can start a trace, choose which events you're interested in.
You only select the things you need, which makes it so it's lower overhead.
And then start recording. You just need to wait a bit to capture enough of a trace. Just capture however long you want. You don't need to wait to 100%. This uses the Doom keys to move, WASD. So let's zoom in and we can look a bit closely at all these garbage collection events. And we can see that we were successful at provoking the garbage collector.
I wonder if he has any major GCs versus minor GCs, because there's also time in which you hold on to garbage. So one thing that he's not talking about is how long are you holding on to it? What's the difference between holding on to an object for a small period of time versus holding on to an object for a long period of time? They're very, very different. Doom keys, I always just called it WASD, but I guess, was the Doom the first one to do WASD? Oh, he'll talk about it? Awesome. Okay.
All these minor GC calls are V8 in action, reclaiming memory. If we're lucky, maybe we see some major GC calls in here too.
They can be very expensive.
These are both versions of V8's garbage collector in action. So that brings up an important question before we move on. What is a minor GC versus a major GC? That's a good question, Simon. Thanks for asking that.
Yeah.
V8 has a great blog post that talks in depth about Orinoco, their garbage collector, and goes through some of the high-level details on their collection strategy. There's this idea, the generational hypothesis in garbage collection, that most items die really young. Also called infant mortality, because why not just use super morbid terms for memory?
I didn't realize they called it infant mortality. Damn. That is a little dark. I guess I didn't read the Wikipedia article on generational garbage collection. I mean, I knew they called it a nursery. That's typically what I've heard is a nursery. I didn't realize we're also killing the baby at this point. Okay, it's strange.
Management. But as a super hand-wavy explanation, V8 basically divides allocations into new and old. You have the new generation and the old generation, and in essence,
Boomers,
allocations
zoomers.
start in the new generation. So if I allocate a string here, it starts out in the new generation, specifically the nursery section part of this new generation. Then a garbage collection pass happens, and let's assume that some objects are reclaimed and others aren't.
Yep.
If our string happens to survive the first garbage collection attempt, it gets copied out or evacuated into a sort of intermediate area. It's not old yet, but it's not brand new either.
Yep.
Another garbage collection event occurs, a bunch of other stuff gets reclaimed. If at that point we find that our object survives, if it's still in use, it gets evacuated out to the old generation. V8 makes this distinction so that it can apply separate strategies for the new and old generations. A minor GC, the scavenger, is optimized to collect from the new generation, while a major GC, which doesn't have a cool name like the mutilator or anything, does the heavy lifting of sifting through the old generation.
Yes, we found so interestingly enough, when I was at Netflix, when I was doing a lot of the recent profiling stuff, because I added in for one of our upcoming tools I've been kind of playing around with, I added in a counter for all the minor and major GCs, and I'd keep track of everything that's happening so that we could have performance regressions. And then I created something that would spam through the video player a bunch of events and kind of have the whole thing tested, so that as we make changes, if we make a change that causes a bunch of more garbage collection, it will show up on a PR and fail your PR. Kind of a little clever thing, because, garbage collection is really real. It can certainly cause a bunch of, oopsie daisies. Yeah, by the way, I work at Netflix. If you didn't, know.
You could call it the Reaper or something. So by looking at the trace of our first test, we can actually select the first.
So that means we have the baby killer and the euthanizer. Like, what do we call this thing? Like, just horrible names. Can we just come up with just horrifying names for those two garbage collections, minor and major? Obviously, we have the infant mortality. Now we need the other side. Damn.
First 10 seconds or so of the trace, and we can see that there were 384 occurrences of minor GC, averaging about 1.079 milliseconds each, and 56 occurrences of major GC at around 0.838 milliseconds each. So our test is getting V8 to do some minor and major GCs. So we can change this test around a tiny bit to try and poke the major GC into action.
I like it.
So what I've done here is I just take a random subset of the data and I stuff it into this .stuff, overriding whatever happened to be there. This .stuff is permanent, never deleted for the duration of the test.
Super clever way to test this. This is actually a fairly clever way to test this. I guess the one thing you'd have to do is go find out how often do major GCs happen, and you'd have to make sure it happens enough times, or how many times what's the frequency of minor GCs, and make sure that you can skip enough generations to go into the old fogey's home for a garbage. But this is super interesting strategy. Love this strategy. Super cool. Absolutely love this strategy. Very, very smart. Because I've done a lot of performance tuning, and I always have this thing where I usually just use a timer. And so normally I never thought about just using a global stuff it and then just keep rewriting over, so eventually that data also just dies, effectively creating multiple connections to the piece of data. Super, super clever, and I'll probably use this in my next test. I love that.
You keep a bunch of random things for a lot longer than a single call of do something stupid, and promote things to the old generation. When we get a trace of the whole thing, and we're just going to select the first 10 seconds or so of the trace, and we can see that this is indeed what happens. We managed to force the garbage collector to work a bit harder, and we've added some time to both minor GC and major GC. To try and understand the relationship between allocation patterns and minor GC and major GC...
Does anyone understand why minor GC ended up having a touch more work? The effective idea is that, remember, every single one of those objects had effectively 20 little baby objects on it. It was a linked list. And so some amount of those objects would last into stuff. And so that means your first round minor GC now has to hold on to something longer, which means that it's going to have to do more searches in those two buckets before it promotes it out of it, right? Or at least that's like, if that's exactly how it works, you have, young, intermediate, old. I'm not sure if that's exact. I don't know if there's a 3-bucket generational garbage collection. I'm not exactly sure how the garbage collection works, but effective.
With this a bit more.
Just means there's more objects to look.
Objects, but make them more complex. This is the trace here. We'll select the first 10 seconds again, and looking at it, minor GC isn't changing a whole lot, but major GC is changing quite substantially, nearly doubling the time taken versus the simpler cases. I poke at this a bit more by adding a setup step to the test where I just allocate a whole bunch of random
Poop.
crap and store it.
Blah.
It's never referenced in the test, but it's there. When we look at a trace of that, we see our major GC calls getting much more expensive. Although there's fewer calls to major GC, each invocation is taking
That's
26
the big
milliseconds,
kicker right there.
which for a game would be basically a skip frame. Something.
So this is actually a really interesting piece of information, especially if you're I assume most of you are working on servers, right? Using servers. So holding on to data longer, you're really understanding your garbage collection cycles and holding on to data longer. You like how I'm saying data? Why do people say data? Why do people add R on the end of things with like that end with A? Anyways, because I've heard people say China and data. China. Anyway, so if you're building a server and you have to hold on to data long, like you could imagine that a request can last quite a bit of time, quite a bit of time in computer time. Data, I believe Data from Star Trek would say it's an eternity, but it would happen and you'd be able to hold on to enough to actually skip through some GC cycles. You can make your major ones have these huge, long stops, and that's where you get these little request spikes. And so it's fairly interesting looking at this stuff. Like, how can you move out of the major world and into the minor world? Because the minor world is almost always really, really fast and small. Star Trek nerd! Okay, first off, Brett Spiner is a champion. Okay, everybody else but Riker and Brett Spiner can just off. But just saying, people are going to be so Captain Jean-Luc
So that suggests
Picard.
that there's a relationship between the amount of crap you have allocated and how long the GC takes, which, I mean, is hardly surprising. It has to figure out what you're using and not using. It's not magic. If you were using another language where memory management is explicit, such as C++, it wouldn't matter how much or little you have allocated. There's no ongoing cost for having it allocated. You only spend time allocating or freeing.
Yep.
Whereas in JavaScript, there's definitely like a tax on what's currently allocated.
Yep.
I tried a few more experiments to.
Not only that, but there's also, remember, there's the reason why you saw minor GC also increasing is that there's a whole tax of managing this memory and moving it up the chain. There's, remember that it's not free. So when you create squirrely marks, it's not just simply a give me a piece of memory. It's give me a piece of memory, keep track of that, put that into the stuff, make sure that we have a link to it. Then you have to go from there and make sure you check it. You have to mark it. Like, there's a whole bunch.
See if I could make
major
minor
GCs
GC
aren't
more
always
expensive.
slower.
So what I did here was I allocated just some random stuff in a loop. Looking at the trace, we did spend quite a bit of total time in minor GCs. Wall time is nearly 10% of the time, in fact, although each singular call to minor GC was just shy of 2 milliseconds, so not quite the crazy long time major GC took. I took another stab at it by allocating sparse arrays and just randomly setting values in there, and V8 kind of laughed that attempt off. Nearly 800 minor GC calls, but they ran in a pretty negligible amount of time. I consider 10% to be pretty bad, but simultaneously it's a ridiculous setup. So maybe instead, let's build a somewhat more plausible game setup to see the effects of GC in action.
I'm not sure if games are the best measurement, because games theoretically also have, what's called some dead time, some idle time. Theoretically, I know that's not quite it. You usually have every single team have some sort of allowance they can each have, so that way things can all run together. I get it. It's that's not how it actually works. But in a lot of simpler games, you have a bit more dead space. Whereas if you're on a server and you're just constantly hitting as many requests as possible and you're at load, every GC makes a real impact into requests. You'll actually see a slowdown in requests per second due to GCs. Anyways, keep on going.
Here's a quick and dirty game setup. So what I've done here is a super basic bare bones game in quotation marks. I don't bother actually rendering any of this, but we do simulate the entities. So you've got this list of entities we call update on each one. When they die, we destroy them, then filter them out. And we keep a stable population by creating new ones in their stead. The entities themselves do some legit work, so they have a transform data associated with each one, along with values like energy, health, and they have a spatial hash grid client to track their position in the world.
You ever hear the story about how quaternions were invented? I forget who it was. I want to say Hamilton is the correct answer. But apparently walking with his mother-in-law, if I'm not mistaken, and then etched the quaternion formula into a famous bridge. So clearly, whatever his mother-in-law was saying, either A, was exceptionally inspiring, or B, was so boring that the only thing you could think of was imaginary numbers. Just saying. This man have video on Quaternions too. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Yeah, I did. You know, I explored a master's in graphics as well. I did a lot of exploring, as you guys have. You probably heard by now. You're like, wait a second. You've told me you've tried to do a master's in AI, software engineering, graphics, algorithms. What the hell haven't you done? Okay, I spent a couple years in school, maybe learning. You know, maybe I was really into it, but ultimately, unfortunately, academia killed the rock star. What's the video? Video killed what? Radio killed. Wait, video killed the radio star? That's what I was trying to quote, and I got that way wrong. I can't even remember it now.
Other entities. They also have this update function.
I'm not a rock
star.
I
forced them to do some random stuff.
Piece of
I
shit
didn't feel like making the logic extensive, so I just repeated a few times. When they're
Well
fully
done.
charged, they shoot off a bullet, so they create a bullet, and that's added to the world.
Let's just face it. When we're fully charged, we all shoot off bullets, if you think about
And
it.
bullets are their own thing. They have a full transform, their position is updated according to velocity, and eventually they explode and kill nearby things. So it does some stuff. I took a few traces of this running, chose a bad one, and we can poke around in here a bit. If I select the first 10 seconds or so of the trace, we can see some numbers for minor GC and major GC.
Look at that, major GC is shorter in here. You see that major GC right here? Average CPU, but either way, 1.117 versus this one was, oh, whoopsies. I was reading the first one. That was 3 seconds. Never mind.
500 or so minor GC calls, taking on average less than half a millisecond, but adding up to around 240 milliseconds or so. There's not many major GC calls, barely any actually, but the ones that do fire take a little over 1.1 milliseconds each. There was always going to be some overhead for garbage collection, but at the same time, this is written super poorly. Realistically, an experienced game developer will code with memory allocations in mind.
Yep.
So let's make this a tiny bit better. I've got a slightly improved version of these entities
Pushes,
that attempts
pops,
to minimize
destroys,
allocations.
nice.
In the main loop, we actually reuse entities instead
Nice.
of allocating new ones, and the
Okay,
entities
cool, let's
themselves
go.
use pre-allocated matrices and vectors
I
to perform
swear
the
I just
calculation.
constantly harp on this
Nothing
all the
super
time.
crazy here. Looking at a trace of that version, though, we can see a monster of a difference. Whereas
Yep.
before we had around 500 minor GC calls, this version gets 110 or so, and a touch over 50 milliseconds of total time spent there.
That makes a
There's
huge
one
difference in
major
requests per
GC call
second.
accounting for another millisecond of time. One really interesting thing that stands out here is that in the first example, let's zoom in and look at these minor GC calls. They're happening during the frame, sometimes multiple times,
Yep.
meaning that they're contributing to
control
longer
when.
frames. In the second example, they're happening in the idle time between frames, which is totally by design.
Oh.
V8 specifically built this feature into Chrome. When it detects there's an idle period, that's where V8 has the go-ahead to quickly run GC. What I kind of got from all of this was that short-lived objects are often pretty cheap from a GC perspective. That doesn't mean they're free though, but if you can get them down low enough, they may just run in the idle time between frames and you may not see much in terms of overhead for it. The more crap you keep in memory, the longer-lived cache stuff, the more expensive your major GCs are, as we saw with my stupid synthetic test.
I love this. I love this video. I feel like this is just a much better version of what I've been yelling at all of you guys about for like the last 2 years. This is fantastic. Simon Dev, you're a genius.
I know my own code though, usually, so this could probably be at least partially mitigated in the future by just letting me tell you via some sort of API that gives hints to the garbage collector. Something like that. I don't know. I've given this a full 10 seconds of thought. You'd need to actually plan this out more.
Yeah.
One major problem with JavaScript, though, is that although for your own app, you might be able to control your allocations, with third-party stuff, you have very little control, as far as I know. I mean, in something like C++, it's sort of the same deal, but at least you can override memory allocation at a global level, and depending on your application, extend this to third-party libraries as well. In JavaScript, no such luck. I can't isolate a third-party library to its own memory pool, so that's just something you have to live with. Another thing is that, yeah, of course there's a cost to having GC. Direct management will be more performant when done right. But in reality, decently made games don't just allocate and free on a whim either. Most do it in a very controlled way. I've spent enough time moving systems to different allocation patterns, linear allocators, pool allocators, LIFO and Scratchpad style frame allocators in order to wring out extra performance. C++ programmers may love to toot that horn, but even among game devs, that was usually handled by just a few people at the studio, not everyone. In JavaScript, you have some control over memory, but it's pretty tenuous. Mostly it's down to your pattern of allocation, minimizing allocations by reusing objects, that sort of thing. Maybe you could go crazy using type.
This is one reason why I really love using classes, is that classes are extremely easy to reuse. Not only do you give the exact blueprint you're going to have to V8, assuming V8 is attempting to optimize things, like that is one of the best things you can do. Is like, here's the exact thing that I want every single time. right? So it's fantastic in that sense. And then second, it's extremely easy to reuse a class, because a class, you can just make a method reset. Bloop. Like, like a really good thing that people don't realize is that wherever you have to add a bunch of callbacks, right? Especially like WebSockets, you have like a server that unconnects a bunch of WebSockets. Those listeners aren't free. It's a little bit shocking how expensive those listeners can actually be. And so by taking control of that and having a class that binds itself to methods, and then you just simply hand those bound methods every single time, and when you reset, you unlisten. A, you have pretty easy lifecycle management, but B, it actually allows you to not recreate those handlers, because not only do you have a function, you're also creating a bound function, which is a function holding onto a function that gets held onto for a long time. It just adds in a lot more, right? So it's very, very interesting.
It's fun. But let's save that for another time. And lastly, how much memory overhead does JS incur for doing all of this?
I do not believe classes have instantiation costs like you're saying. I think it's significantly less. If you ever have to use a raw object, first off, you have to have an API that is not attached. You do not get free LSPing, okay? So baloney, right? And second, you're going to have to, what I mean by that is like, okay, so if you have so you could imagine you have some sort of const, you have some sort of type, foo that has, oops, I always forget that. You have some sort of foo that has X string, Y string, Z string, there you go, right? Fantastic. This object exists. And then you also want to be able to have some functions like do foo1. It takes in a foo, and therefore it takes in a foo, and it returns out, I don't know, a boolean, return, I don't know, foo.x plus foo.y. Look, string concatenation. Rope strings equals foo. Why not, right? Okay, fantastic. Now, the thing about this is that this is going to exist in some sort of module somewhere. And so instead, if you have class foo, which does have all these exact things up here, right? Paste those all in, blah, blah, blah. At least if you have do foo up here, right? You can do something that's a little bit nicer here, which is when you instantiate one of these, you at least get foo up, hold on, 11 up, here we go. Let's go 1, go down here, and go foo1, right? Const foo, what is it? Foo, we'll call foo1 equals, I don't know, new foo1, there we go, blah, blah, blah. At least when you do this, you at least get the method, right? You get the things hanging off. Versus when you only use flat objects, first off, taking flat objects and you need to reuse them means you have to delete properties off of them. Deleting is very, very slow. You also get these structural problems. There's all sorts of crazy things that happen. But B, you also have just like basic LSP bullshit. You have to know where this method is. And if there is literally like still 15 or 20 of these different functions, you have to know of all the functions, or you have to go to the file to go look at it, or you have to do what I think is one of the worst things, which is import star as, foo functions from foo, right? And that is like the most annoying thing. Then you're looking on this thing for the objects of foo. Then you call do foo, and then you have to pass in the foo itself. I hate that. I don't want to do that, okay? Because then not only that, you can't chain. Then chaining totally sucks, because now you have to this whole like foo function, do foo2, go bid that, right? Like even if you pass foo back out, it still sucks, right? Like I hate that. I hate that. I understand people in the JavaScript world love their functions and objects, but it's super, super, super annoying having all that crap. Sorry, end of rant. Way, way easier to have a reset function. Way, way easier to pool objects. That's just why I tend to just lean on classes. The end.
How's the performance on Firefox? Etc., etc. Great questions. No idea. Didn't test those. Maybe next time.
Love that answer.
Throw some comments about what you'd like to see tested in the future. Until next time.
Thank you, Simon. Great guy, Simon. Hit that subscribe button right now. It'll be linked in the description. Absolutely loved it, Simon. Perfect talk. Loved it. Yeah, give him some clappies. Give the man some clappies. Hit that subscribe. Are you still using Alacrity? Of course. I never used Alacrity. I use some terminal from the 80s. You know why? Because I don't care. My terminal is fast enough. I don't need your GPU rendered text. Okay? I don't need it. When I press zoom, it just bumps up the font size. Okay? I don't need font size 420.69. Okay? It doesn't matter to me. I just need 420 or 421. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. That's that. Simon's a genius? Absolutely. Clearly genius. Beautiful voice. The end.
Welcome to Costco.
Thank you. I
love
use Xterm 256. Since it was written in Rust, I thought you might have been using it. No, again, I've been so specific about this.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Rust as the programming language in which was used to implement the item
to Costco.
is not
I love
a
you.
feature. Okay, I don't care. If you used Lua to implement everything, if it works fantastically, I don't give a rat. Okay? I don't care. Rust as the language is not a feature. Okay? That's not a feature. It's not a feature. Okay? I've seen some I've written Rust personally that was slower than Go. You know why? Because I was bad at writing Rust. Okay? I wrote slower code in Rust than Go. Okay? So guess what? I don't care what language it's written in if you can write a really good product that has absolutely not any tiny, teeny bit hitching ever. Okay? Weird flex. It is a weird, it was full skill issue. Yeah, you used a global mutex that one time. Yeah, because I'm a dum-dum. Oh, yeah. Squeaky mics. But here's the deal. If your shit is all janky and slow, like Electron VS Code app, I ain't using it. I do care at that point what language it's written about, okay? I do care that your editor is at least in C, C++, or Rust, okay? Because you need a fast-ass editor. I don't want to be hit with a stupid GC while typing and watch it go, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, okay? I don't want to see that. Okay? Basically, you only care when you have to wait for the program. Exactly. That's why crying in Atom. Exactly. NetBeans for the win. NetBeans fine. Hot take. HTML plus CSS is great for creating cross-platform UIs. JS sucks though. Good answer. I might subscribe. Blue Jay, shut up. You shut up with that slanderous filth in this chat. Okay? You will never mention that again. That should be a crime against humanity. And I want you to understand that right now. That is disgusting. And you know that. All right, people. I actually am very curious about this last one. Not my OnlyFans page. Go subscribe there for no videos. But, hey, that's Eduardo. All right. Where is the one? That's Pokemon. Okay, that's not what it looks like. Okay, this is not what it looks like. I know it looks like something, but it's not something. Okay, it's not. It's not something. It's not. It's not something. Okay. I'm not typing PokeW. Hey, Warren Buffering, nice job. It's bullshit. It's not what it looks like, okay? She's going to band me. Like, we're going to join a band together? Some sort of traveling band? All right. Anyways. I am really curious about this. I'm very curious about this whole thing right here, which is this right here, which is single ownership and memory safety without borrow checking, reference counting, or garbage collection. I mean, that sounds exciting. Or do we do agile? Okay, maybe I like memory safety, blah, 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 blah. Is that a question? I don't know. I'm just asking. Well, apparently people don't want to look at Agile. Yeah, I get all these things from the Reddit page. Wow. Okay, there's a lot more nerds in here, huh? There's a lot more nerds in here. Okay, I didn't realize that there are so many nerds in here already, all hot and bothered to do this one. Okay. Okay. Gee, okay. That's really amazing. Wow. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna completely ignore you guys, and we're gonna do Grug. Okay, marker Grug Agile. Boom, got him. All right, and I also need to do some thank yous. I just realized I didn't do thank yous. Thank yous. Where's my thank yous at? Got him. Q Beatsu, thank you very much. Sorry, Radius, I actually like you. The rest of you guys can just go off. But Radius, you're a pretty good guy. Mochi Gasm, let's go, dude. Every single time I went to Whole Foods when I was in California, I'd get a little delicious Mochi and Gasm right there in Whole Foods, which I also went to Whole Foods a grand total of 4 times. Don't do that, thunk. But also do that. Thank you very much for that. I greatly appreciate that. Sorry for telling you not to do that. Yeah, this is how democracy dies on the Primeagen's channel. Thank you. Thanks, thunk. Hey, no, I love you back. Okay? Many appreciations. Grug no like big brain devs and their fancy practices. That's right, Tokyo Mutex. How you doing, by the way? Appreciate all of your comments. I want you to know that every time I read one of your comments, I laugh a little bit.
It turns on your
I get in there and I get a little. I laugh.
Feelings.
I enjoy it. Next door, Nate. I'm not gonna lie to you. Next door, Nate is kind of it's an interesting term. You know. I don't know what it means. Yeah, I'm a military police dictatorship. Come on, I'm not a fascist. Duh. I let you guys have the feeling like you're a part of it, and then I ignore you completely. Okay. Just standard. User Zero, thank you very much. Daddy Prime, let's go. Primal Light, thank you very much for the 11 months. And Nick D.
Welcome
Gonzalez,
to
$5 a month. Thank you for the tier 1. Let's go. Count Digi, let's go. Brand new Twitch Prime. Grem Boulan with the brand new Twitch Prime. Let's go. Block Solid, thank you very much for that Twitch Prime and the hypergraph. I already said thank you, but thank you again, okay? Fiskin Hero, gifted a tier 1 to Pokimane. Okay, I'm a little surprised she's not, honestly, I'm a little surprised she's not, subscribe to me right now. Honestly, maybe a little offended.
Welcome
I don't
to
know.
Costco. I love you.
I guess we had something more than that. But I guess we don't have something more than
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Hurts a little bit. The Iron Flame, thank you for the 5 months tier 1. I appreciate that. X Hypno, thank you for the 4 months. Let's go. Do a Poke collab then. Well, now that I know she's not subscribed, she probably doesn't want to collab with me. You know what I mean? Hey, nice. Welcome, Games with Chaos. First time here. I hope you're doing good. You know, the thing between me and Karen is going on for a while now. Yeah. Look at this. You can't even tell the difference. You can't even tell the difference. Okay? Other than, I mean, potentially this looks like Pokimane, and this looks like Pokimane got in a fight. We're not really sure.
Welcome to Costco.
T.
I love you.
T. You didn't have to gift a tier 3 to the Mutex himself, locking it down. Well, thank you for locking it down for him. I appreciate that. I await Tokyo's thank you. Okay, good. Awation complete. All right. Quick Poke check, please. Okay, everybody, Poke checks. Everyone, type in PokeW. Everybody, type in PokeW in the chat right now. Poke check. Poke check, everybody. Poke check. PokeW, please. Everyone, PokeW right now. We used to have like an entire wall of PokeWs. At one point, this community literally gave Pokimane 1,000 subs. Wow. Not a lot. Okay. Well, maybe you should have more. Hey, Sokolo. Did I just see a Sokolo? Everybody on the alt accounts again. There's the alt accounts going again. Thank you very much, Raycon. All right. Now let's get started. Are you guys ready for this? Here we go. Grug Agile, here we go. We're going to get started. I hope everybody is ready for Agile. I just saw the viewer numbers drop. Yeah, you know why the viewer numbers dropped? Because Twitch was having a mistake. So many pokey W's went by. It screws up the whole system, okay? All right. Grug on Agile. Agile. Is it agile or is it agile? Agile is what I call it. Grug think agile, not terrible. Okay, get out of here, Grug. I hate you. Not good. Okay, Grug, you're not like horrible, but I still don't like you. End of day, not worst way to organize development. Maybe better than others, Grug supposes. Fine. Danger, however, is Agile Shaman. Many shiny rock lost to Agile Shaman. Whatever Agile project fail, Agile Shaman say, you didn't do Agile right. Scotsman, communism, and Agile. The only ones that are never truly who they're supposed to be.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Did I forget to turn off the alerts? Damn it! I've been on such an amazing streak. And now I have forgotten. Dang it. I had it. All right. Scotsmen really are the sad one because they should have been born a Scotsman, but they never quite were true Scotsmen. All right. Grug note this awfully convenient for Agile Shaman. Ask more shiny rock, better Agile train young Grugs on Agile danger. Yeah. This is, when I was working at my second company I was working at called Workiva, known back then as Web Filings, I kid you not. We had the guy who I think wrote Inspire, super agile people come in. They're just all about it. We had training sessions, and I kid you not, we developed more process. Than features in the product. It was incredible. By the end of the 6 months I was there, my meetings went up sixfold. The amount of work I was doing went down sixfold. It was incredible what a good Agile Shaman can do to a company. Incredible. I hated planning poker. I thought we were going to do something fun. Instead, it's the exact same thing with chickpea noodles, cauliflower rice, vegan bread, or whatever it is, gluten-free bread. No, I associate something good playing poker with people I like, but it's mixed in with something I hate, which is like gluten-free wheat. Okay, it's just I hate that. I just hate that combo. Okay, I hate that combo. Vegan bread, yeah, vegan bread. I probably wouldn't like that either. I need those eggs in there, baby. Grug tempted to reach for club when too much agile talk happened, but always stay calm. This is true. Prototyping, tools, and hiring good Grugs, better key to success software. Agile process okay and help some, but sometimes hurt taken too seriously. Grug say no silver club, fix all software problems, no matter what Agile Shaman say. Danger. This is really good. This is really good talk. I will say one thing that I've really appreciated about Netflix, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but I work at Netflix, is that there virtually is no rules or process, which means that we kind of always choose our own destiny in some sort of sense. And by choosing your own destiny, which can be very cumbersome, duplicate work happens, you favor communication among individuals over corporate large alignment meetings. And for me, I'd rather talk to one person or two people or five people and align on a specific thing than do a whole reoccurring meeting every week to discuss the same shit we've already know and everybody's already on the same thing and Streamberry doesn't need yet another meeting. I get that. And so it's just I just hate that. And so I'm just so happy I don't work in Agile anymore. Agile, I hate it. I've always hated Agile. I still will hate Agile. Every single time you say you hate Agile, the no true Agile Scotsman comes out and be like, well, you didn't do Agile right. That's your problem. Your problem is you didn't do it right. Oh, what went wrong there? Add a retro. Oh, your retros are too much? Take away retros. Oh, you don't like that planning poker. Oh, you weren't doing it right? Your estimations are bad. Oh, you're not estimating right? Well, did you do shirt sizes, small, medium, and large? What'd you do? What's the problem? You know what? No more planning poker. See, you're doing planning poker bad, right? It's just dude, I hate the whole process. Everything about Agile is just sucks. I don't believe in a silver bullet, but I also believe in a poison pill. Okay? Okay? Poison pills are real. They're very, very real. But you're good at it. Good at what? Putting on shirts? You believe in Silver Club? I don't believe in Silver Club either. I don't believe in Silver Club. I don't. All right, let's do one more. Refactoring. Refactoring fine activity, and often good idea, especially later in project when code firmed up. Again, feeling firm right now. However, Grug note that many times in career, refactors go horribly off rails and end up causing more harm than good. You know, I often find that refactors go worse depending on how much of your code relies or is shaped by a third party. And what I mean by that is, say leaky abstractions. React is a leaky abstraction, right? Because you literally have to shape your code around React. RxJS, leaky abstraction. One thing becomes an observable, everything becomes an observable, right? Like just observable all the way down eventually by the end. And so like the more dependent your code is shaped against the library, the harder I think it is to refactor, because ultimately it always ends up being a rewrite, right? And for me, rewrites are just like, they rarely are the right answer. Rarely. Grug not sure exactly why some refactors work well, some fail, but Grug noticed that larger refactor more likely failure appear to be. Agreed. So Grug try to keep refactors relatively small and not be too far out from shore during refactoring. Ideally system work entire time, each step of the finish before other begin. Love it. I actually really like the idea of trying to keep your refactor to the point where a PR is still intelligible. I know that's kind of hard. It requires extreme discipline, but I think it's pretty good. And then you commit that. You don't have to actually, code reviews are great sometimes, right? The hard part about code reviews is that you also need the other person on the other side being knowledgeable in that area to code review. You know what I mean? You just don't want, the 10,000 line one. End-to-end tests are lifesaver here, but often very hard to understand why broke. Such is refactor life. Also, Grug noticed that introducing too much abstraction often lead to refactor failure and system failure. Good example was J2EE introduced many big brains sit around thinking too much abstraction. Nothing good came out of it. Many project hurt. Oh, love it. Another good example when company Grug work at for introduce OSGI to help manage trap spirit. Spirit spelled wrong. Spirit complexity daemon in codebase. Not only OSGI not help, but make complexity daemon much more powerful. Took multiple man-year of best developers to rework as well to boot. More complex spirit and now features impossible implement. Very bad. Agreed. Very, very, very much so agree. All of this is just beautiful. The refactoring is super hard. Refactoring is super, super hard. I've yet to find really great rules of thumb for good refactors. Really small refactors, obviously very, very simple. A defined API and refactoring the spirit daemon behind the API feels really, really good. I like that. Those seem to be the easiest refactors to get right. I think when you have a really good API, refactors are easier. When you have a really shitty API, refactors are really hard, because almost exclusively a shitty API leads to a rewrite, not a refactor. And of course, abstraction's crazy, right? Abstractions just make everything harder, like dramatically harder, because then, abstractions are supposed to make an operation easier, right? They're supposed to allow for more sway. But often what I find is abstractions don't allow for more sway. They actually make everything more narrow, and it becomes way harder to refactor. Dislike. Hard. I hate black box coding. I'm not sure what black box coding is. One layer of abstraction. Abstraction class plus sons are okay. More, don't know. When you say abstraction class, if you mean like interface, I'm in on the interfacing. I like interfaces. They're good. If RX is leaky abstraction, then is Promise 1-2? Yeah, Promise is 1-2, but Promise also has syntax. And that's where I think that's where the big difference lies, is that promises are fairly one-dimensional operations. They're more like a catamorphic operation, right? It's more like an iterator operation. You're kind of pulling out a value. And so it just feels different in the sense that I'm not sure exactly how to word it. I haven't read good architecture on it, or I haven't read the right terms to say here. So I sound stupid. I sound grug. But okay, Einstein, shut up. I believe it's the right term, but it's going from effectively a monad, right? A promise is just a monad of some sort into the underlying value. I find that's okay. RxJS, on the other hand, isn't that. RxJS is actually a stream of things, right? It's a completely different thing. It changes a lot of stuff. Just a monad. You can monad these nuts. I think that works. You can catamorphic these nuts. Got them. Promises should have been monads. Yeah, I see you. Thank you. Yeah. Mo these nuts. Nads. What? Mo these nads? All right, anyways, hey. By the way, just so everybody knows, I've tried turning off all ads as much as possible on Twitch. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'm trying to just shut it down right now. The name? Oh, I forgot to say that. You're right. The name is I'm not running ads, or at least not trying to, but Twitch also forces you to run ads, and it's very difficult, and you really tried not to. Jen. You know what I mean? Well, more ads, please. No, it's not that. It's that I realize that there's so many ads. It's actually it's becoming difficult for people to watch. You know what I mean? I was trying to get a file to be a few bytes as possible. Define sounded like grug here. Yeah. I missed the grug read. Yeah, you did. Sorry. Just grugged hard. Now you missed it. The problem is not the use of inheritance that is difficult to debug on the chessboard with checkers. It makes sense to use inheritance more than interface, for example. But for other things, a simple interface will do. The problem is shoehorned inheritance. I'm not sure if that's true either. I don't know. Inheritance has something about it that I dislike, and it's hard to put a finger on it. There's a lot of abstractions that I hate, and I can't correctly define why I hate them. But experience always emotionally hurts me. Oh, you have a spirit complexity demon meeting. Bye, chat. Hey, guess what? Shy Rai, I'm joining you. Bye, chat. Gotta go. I'm gonna turn on alerts, and we're gonna get the hell out of here. All right, hey. Thank you, Nintron. I appreciate that. Nintron, let's go. Twitch Prime, let's go. Bloodust, thank you very much for that tier 1. 3 months last chain. Let's go. Thank you for that tier 1. And Raycon Pokey W, let's go. Bye, Prime. Hey, the Furgen. Bye, Furry. I'm a furry. This guy's a furry. All right. Let's see. Who we raiding, by the way? I don't even know who we're raiding. We're not raiding AI Jesus. I somehow find that sacrilegious. All right. Who we raiding? Who are we raiding? I don't even know. Unity, Kit Boga, J Blow. J Blow or Kit Boga. Armoranth now streams on Twitch. Didn't you know that? Or on, if you go to kick.com, Amaranth. Did I get that right? She's over here now. Look at that. Amaranth. See? Not me. Yeah. So you can't even do that. You can't even go over there and raid. Right? Didn't you hear that? It was along with the what's it called? What is Kick? A gambling website, actually. Kick is a gambling website. All right, anyone we want to raid? I don't know. I'm just gonna do Kit Boga. It seems easy. Raid Kit. Is it Boga? Kit Boga. Boga. Yeah, got him. Prime, do you play Diablo 4? I am playing a little bit of Diablo 4. Don't forget to shout out the YouTube stream tomorrow. Oh, yeah, YouTube stream tomorrow. YouTube only stream. I'm going to try it out. Tried it. Thank you for suggesting. No, thank you. All right. You guys ready for this? I was just watching Kid a while ago. Well, there we go. What time? Chat. Join the Discord, you dummies. Join the Discord. That's why the Discord exists. You can mute the Discord, but you allow the announcement channel to continue to work. Thank you. Wasabi. Appreciate that. Bye.